Okay, so I do just want to start this video out by giving a shout out to BizPath and Why Learn. They've been a huge inspiration for me to make these kind of videos, and to actually put these videos out is definitely all due to them. So go check out their channels in the description. And yeah, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so to start, top 3 best investments. Number 1 is going to be silver and gold. Believe it or not, silver and gold is not talked about enough, I feel. I feel silver and gold is this kind of hidden treasure that, a lot of people don't want to talk about anymore because they're too focused on stocks and crypto and meme coins and NFTs. But to be honest with you, gold and silver is truly the safe haven of investments. If you are looking to really play it safe and just put your money somewhere that you know it's going to return value over time, it's going to be gold and silver. As you can see right here, gold, steady highs. Same with silver here, steady highs. Doesn't really come down. You'll see in 2011, 2012, that was just a debt ceiling. It basically, a recession. But as you can see, silver and gold, it just pumps up. So even during a recession, even during highs and lows for the economy, it's always going to hold its value. And like I said, it is physical, so it's real. It's there. You can go to a pawn shop, you can go to a gold and silver shop, and you can sell it at a moment's notice and get your money's worth. So like I said, once again, it's pretty much the safe haven of all investments. So if you really want to play it safe and you just kind of want to have money into somewhere that you know is going to return value, it's going to be gold and silver. Now, if you guys are actually looking to buy gold and silver, I will be leaving a link in the description of a few websites that you guys can go to buy gold and silver. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, it'll be a link in the description. Okay, so number 2 is actually going to be stocks. We're going to be talking about the S&P 500 in specific. I could do another video about individual company stocks, but I think for the safety of this video, we're just going to be talking about the S&P 500. Now, if you don't already know, the S&P 500 is the top 500 performing companies in America, meaning that if a company does really well, or if any of the companies in the top 500 do really well, it performs super well. This basically meaning that, the S&P 500 is always going to perform well, in my opinion, because unless there was a legitimate, crash of all companies tomorrow, it's basically always going to go up. And it basically has. Ever since it started in 1957, you can expect a average annual yearly rate of 10%. Now, that obviously could be higher depending on how the year performs, but that's just the annual average. To be specific, it's actually 11.33%. But, now with that being said, just kind of an example of how you can make, wealth off of this is if you were to just invest at $100 in 2000, you would be looking at roughly about $665. So you can imagine that, if you're putting $20, $30, $40,000 into it over a long period of time, investing into it regularly, you can expect a pretty good return on your investment, which is obviously what we're all chasing here. But yeah. So with that in mind, I do want to clarify, just for some people who, think this is a magic money glitch, realistically, yes, it is an annual of 10% over a year. So you're not just going to put in $10 and magically, wait 2 years and it's just going to be like $5 million. You're supposed to actually invest in it, regularly. That's what most people do. If you're going to be smart about it, putting in, $100, $200, $300 a month is probably the best way to go about it. And then obviously over the long term, 40, 50 years later, you're looking at, a couple mil, obviously. Now, there's also another way to go about this. You have normal brokerage accounts, which are taxable. So a normal brokerage account, meaning that you can obviously just buy the S&P 500, put it on there, and then you can kind of just sell whenever you want, just like as a normal brokerage account is, right? Now, with that in mind, you do have to pay taxes. So with taxes, obviously everyone hates taxes. You don't want to pay money on, money you made, right? I would definitely look into a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA meaning that it basically is it's just the same as a brokerage account or a normal IRA. Except for a Roth IRA, you can access when you're 58 and a half, correct me if I'm wrong, and it'll be completely tax-free. So if you're consistently putting in $100, $200, $300, per month, until you're, 58 and a half or 59 and a half, I'm not sure exactly what it is. You're going to be looking at it, a decent amount, obviously. Now, imagine that not taxed. So that's kind of the best approach with the S&P 500 is to just be, annually, or not even annually, just monthly putting in money until retirement. And then once you take it out of your Roth IRA, like I said, you're looking at an untaxed, at least a couple mil if you're putting in 100, 200, 300 a month, which is kind of just, what we all want, right? So that being said, yeah, number two is definitely just going to be the S&P 500. I know I said number two is going to be stocks, but the S&P 500 is basically just the best way to go about it. It's the most beginner friendly for most people. If you're just throwing in a couple bucks, even just a month, you're going to see small change, but nonetheless change is good when you're seeing money being made from thin air. So yeah, number two is going to be the S&P 500. Okay, so quickly before we do get into number three, I want to specify you are obviously going to need a brokerage account to start investing in the S&P 500. So a few of them I'd recommend, not sponsored by any means, but a few I'd recommend is Vanguard, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, and Webull. Those are four you could just kind of look at. You guys can obviously pick out which one you want, but for the majority of people just looking to invest in the S&P 500, I definitely recommend those four. But yeah. Okay, now finally, number three is going to be crypto. I know this is a super duper hot topic, and some people say that this is the worst investment that you could ever pick. Some say it's the best. That's why I put it number three, just because it's like not a lot of people really know. It's a super just hot topic, and I didn't obviously want to just shove it down anyone's throat that this is just going to be the utmost best investment. Now, me personally, I am heavily invested in crypto. I think it's going to do really good in the future, but like I said, that's just my opinion. And with that being said, it's basically just completely up to your choice on whether or not you would like to invest in crypto. But if you are going to invest in crypto, I would recommend keeping it simple. I know you're seeing a lot of these cryptos going around, XRP, you got Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, you got all these crazy coins, and you don't know which one to invest in, right? You're seeing that XRP is performing, and you're seeing a bunch of all these other coins that are performing. But over the long term, if you want to play it safe, like all the other investments in this video, investing in the two most popular or the most popular is always the best route, simply because there is less risk. Just like the S&P 500 and gold and silver, it's always just top performing. So it's kind of the same with crypto. I recommend just sticking to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin kind of being like gold and silver being like Ethereum. Bitcoin is always followed by Ethereum. So that's what I personally invest in. And obviously, like I said, it's been doing great over time. It's technically the highest performing and in the highest value. It's worth more than the S&P. It's worth more than actual gold. But obviously, it is crypto. It is digital. It's not a real thing, right? But it has been performing super duper well to the point where I can't not mention it. Because if it is obviously going to keep pumping the way it is, that is going to be a good investment for you guys to put your money into. And with that being kind of the whole point of the video, that's why I recommend crypto. I could go into way more about crypto, but like I said, I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet and wrap this video up just because it's a very hot topic and I'd like to make many more videos about it in the future. So with that being said, that is the top three best investments. Like I said, this is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. It's just simply my opinion, but it's definitely in my opinion, a great start to your investment journey. And like I said, looking to make way more videos in the future. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, drop a like and subscribe if you really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's going to be it. Peace.